Good morning. This is my second day in Beijing. Today, I am planning to explore inside the city center. The first place what I will visit is Tiananmen Square and Forbidden City. As long as I know, the visitor must register to visit Tiananmen Square through application name WeChat, but I don't have it, and it is quite complicated to apply this application. Also, the Forbidden City is always crowded. Therefore, to make everything easier, I decided to buy the half-day tour package from Klook.com. It is including the ticket to Forbidden City, and the tour operator already managed the Tiananmen Square registration for me. I will meet the tour guide at 8 a.m. at the hotel nearby Tiananmen Square. And after it is a half-day tour, then I will spend afternoon to explore another important place in Beijing. Don't waste the time. Let's go. Tiananmen Square is one of the most famous landmarks in Beijing. This is one of the largest public squares in the world and an important place in Chinese history. The square is located in the center of Beijing, just in front of the Forbidden City. Around the square, visitors can see famous buildings like the Great Hall of the People and the Monument of the People's Heroes. Many important national events and celebrations have taken place here for many years. Today, the square is very busy with both tourists and local visitors. Even though there are many people, the area still feels very grand and impressive because of its huge, open space and historic atmosphere. Visiting Tiananmen Square is one of the must-do experiences when traveling to Beijing. Next to Tiananmen Square is the famous Forbidden City, also known as the Palace Museum. This is one of the most important historic places in China. The Forbidden City was built in the early of 14th century during the Ming Dynasty and was the home of Chinese emperors for more than 500 years. In the past, ordinary people were not allowed to enter this palace, which is why it was called the Forbidden City. The palace complex is extremely large. It has more than 900 buildings, surrounded by high red wall and a wide moat. Inside, there are many beautiful halls, courtyards, gates, and traditional Chinese buildings with golden roofs. One of the most important places is the Hall of Supreme Harmony, where emperors held major ceremonies and important royal events. Another famous area is the Palace of Heavenly Purity, where the emperor lived and worked. As I walk through the palace, I can feel the rich history everywhere. It is amazing to imagine how emperors, royal families, and officials lived here hundreds of years ago. Even today, many buildings are still very well preserved. The details of the architecture are also incredible. From the colorful decorations to the giant stone stairways, everything looks grand and impressive. At the end of the palace complex, visitors can also explore the imperial garden, which has ancient trees, traditional pavilions, and the peaceful corners to relax. Visiting the Forbidden City feels like stepping back into ancient China. It is truly one of the must-visit landmarks in Beijing. I spent the time at Tiananmen Square and Forbidden City from 8 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I exit from the Forbidden City by the north exit. The next destination what I will visit is Jingshan Park. It is a mountain side just next to the Forbidden City. The tour guide said that if I climb up to the Jingshan top, I can see the bird eye view of the Forbidden City. So it is look interesting. I don't miss to go there. After leaving the Forbidden City from the gate of Divine Prowess, I walk directly to Jingshan Park, which is located just behind the palace. Jingshan Park is a historic imperial park built during the Ming Dynasty. The hill inside the park is actually man-made. It was created from the soil dug out when the moat of Forbidden City was constructed. The park is very peaceful and full of trees, traditional pavilions, and local people relaxing. Now, I'm walking up the stair to the top of the hill. The climb is not very difficult, but after walking around the Forbidden City for hours, my legs definitely feel tired. But the view at the top is absolutely worth it. From the hilltop at Wanchun Pavilion, I can see an amazing bird's eye view of the entire Forbidden City. After 10 minutes climbing to the top hill, I promise it is very worth to see with this stunning view. The golden roofs and red walls stretching across Beijing look truly stunning from up here. Next from Jingshan Park, I am walking to Beihai Park. It is just only 400 meters away. After visiting Jingshan Park, I walk to nearby Beihai Park, one of the oldest and most famous imperial gardens in Beijing. This park has a history of more than 1,000 years and was used by emperors from several Chinese dynasties. The park is very large and is centered around the beautiful Beihai Lake, which gives the area a peaceful and relaxing atmosphere. Today, Beihai Park is a popular place to both tourists and local people to walk, relax, and enjoy nature in the middle of the busy city. When I arrive at Beihai Park, I can see the white pagoda and the stair up to the top hill. I think it is worth to try, and we will see. Now I'm walking up the hill to visit the famous White Pagoda of Yong'an Temple. The White Dagoba is one of the most iconic landmarks in Beihai Park. It was built in the 17th century during the Qing dynasty and is an important Tibetan Buddhist structure. From far away, the White Stupa stands out beautifully above the tree and lake. The walk up the hill is not too difficult, but after many hours of sightseeing today, my legs are becoming more and more tired. Still, the scenery along the way is very peaceful, with traditional buildings, old trees, and quiet paths surrounding the temple area. From the top, visitors can also enjoy a wonderful view over the lake and the city around the park. The lake covers most of the area and creates a calm atmosphere that feels very different from the crowded streets of Beijing. Many people come here to relax, take photos, and enjoy the fresh air. During warmer seasons, boating is one of the most popular activities on the lake. Visitors can rent small boats and paddle around the water while enjoying views of the White Dagoba and traditional Chinese gardens. Around the lake, there are also many bridges, pavilions, temples, and walking paths to explore. Even in winter, the park is still beautiful and peaceful. Beihai Park is a wonderful place to slow down, enjoy nature, and experience another side of historic Beijing. Okay, after I visit Beihai Park, now it is 2:30 in the afternoon. I think I will find something for lunch and then go back to the hotel to take a rest. And then in the evening, I will go out again. My next place in the evening is Houhai area. It is the lake and it has some shop and restaurant nearby the lake. I think it would be better to see this area in the afternoon. Oh no, not afternoon. I mean the evening after sunset. We'll see. After sunset, I came to the Houhai area to enjoy the night atmosphere of Beijing. Houhai is a historic lake area surrounded by traditional Hutong neighborhoods, cafes, restaurants, and bars. In the past, this area was close to the homes of royal families and important officials during ancient times. Today, it has become one of the most popular nightlife areas in Beijing. On Saturday night, the atmosphere here feels very lively and energetic. Many people are walking along the lakeside, enjoying street food, listening to live music, and taking photos of the colorful lights reflecting on the water. There are also many local restaurants and small shops hidden inside the old traditional buildings. Walking here at night feels very relaxing and enjoyable after a long day of sightseeing. It is a perfect place to experience another side of Beijing, where history and modern city life come together beautifully. After I spent about 2 hours at Houhai Lake, I enjoyed the nightlife there and have local food and local snack as the dinner. Then I back to the hotel around 8:30. Um, Today is quite a effective day again because I could walk about 22,000 steps from the Forbidden City, Tiananmen Square, and also visit the Jingshan Park, Beihai Park, and then finish the day with the one of the most vibrant and lively area in Beijing. Tomorrow I still have half day in the capital city of China. I will check out from the hotel in the morning and leave my luggage at the lobby. Then I plan to visit two temples, the Temple of Heaven and Lama Temple. After that, I will leave from the hotel about 1 p.m. to catch the flight back to Bangkok about 6:45 in the afternoon. So, good night and see you tomorrow.